Welcome back to Careers with Miss V. I'm so excited to bring another incredible guest. Today we are meeting with Ali Al Suwaidi, who is the COO of Global Village. Welcome, Ali.
Hi, thank you for inviting me, Maria.
I'm so excited to have you with me today, and I'm really honored that you've been able to take that time to speak with us about your career journey and some of the career highlights that you have really enjoyed through the time that you're doing what you do. Before we get into your role at Global Village, talk to us about the younger teen. When did you know the path forward? I know you were interested in maths and sciences, but how did you know what you wanted to do next?
So, of course, my philosophy was when I was 17 years old that let me work hard now and I'm going to get the benefits later. When I find a job and it's a good salary, I'm going to stay, I'm going to enjoy life. So I worked hard at my high school and I got a good grade and I went to university and I studied harder. And of course, I didn't have a career plan. I just was working to graduate as an engineer and then find a job. So it was very simple. Nobody was helping me in my planning. Maybe, my dad was always pushing me to get educated, but he never told me what to do. You know, so because of course he did not go to university, so he want us to learn. So alhamdulillah, I finished my university and I worked for a telecom company. And after 4 years of being in the middle of equipment, being an engineer doing maintenance, I said, this is not me. I like to talk to people. I'd like to be more social with people and make friends. So I don't want to stay the whole life working with generator and doing maintenance. I want to change. So I did my master because I said, enough engineering. I did my master in business admin from the American University of Sharjah while working. And of course, at the same time, I was building my house and I was married, few years of being married. And I had to build my house, you cannot just stay in an apartment. So I had so many responsibilities. And master degree was an additional one. Of course, I have to balance in finance, how to build the house and not to take a deep loan. So alhamdulillah, it was good. Then I found myself that I don't want to be an engineer. I did my master, let me change. So I've been to health and safety for a few years, health and safety and environment as a practitioner. I did my diploma as well. And then I found myself uh, in a way that I said, I don't want to lose my experience. I've been into maintenance, I've been to health and safety. So I don't want to lose all this. I got offers because I decided to be brave and not to continue to work for one organization. I wanted to change. 8 years in one organization, even different roles, was nice. I wasn't bored, but still, 8 years in one company, I said that's enough. Even if I have loan commitment, whatever, let me take the risk. Having loan of almost like 500,000 and you want to change job is not easy. So I said, no, I'm going to change. So I got few offers from another telecom company and of course during the opening of and other projects in Dubai. But I said, no, let me go to because I'm going to use my experience working for Etisalat for 8 years. And at the same time, I want to use my health and safety experience and the maintenance. So I chose something called facility management. So I loved it, the idea of not just thinking about building a project, but about maintaining the project over the life of that project, making these buildings more sustainable, because these are the investments we're building, not just building, we're building cities, we're building countries, and UAE was developing. So at that stage, I said, that's it. I want to be a facility manager. I want to be in that profession. And it was very early. Facility management started in US and UK early 70s and 80s. So it wasn't really something that has huge guidelines and standards. So, alhamdulillah, so I've started my own way of talking about our issues in facility management. And then luckily bringing people together, that was my my joy bring people together to do something. So we brought people from Qatar, from Saudi Arabia. It was in 2007 and 8 through conferences talking about the problem. And then finally, we established non-profit association called Middle East Facility Management Association. Today, I'm the vice president of the Middle East Facility Management Association and the vice chairman for the Global Facility Management Association worldwide. So I have so many calendars to follow and so many meetings globally and regionally. And this is from my volunteer work. So I love to be volunteer. And this is where I find myself. I want to be there, help other people, and of course, give, and don't expect people to give back to me. I want to give, not expecting people to give me back. So this is my passion, I think.
What a journey. That I really appreciate hearing that story. And I think a young person listening to you, what they'll probably be taking away is that it's okay to change. And where you begin doesn't necessarily mean where you'll always be. So that first degree in engineering was the opening, but it wasn't necessarily where you wanted to be. Talk to us about how you made it to the Global Village. I remember when the Global Village first started, it was a really small project close to the airport. And here it is today, you know, a really large project. How did you find your way into this?
So actually, they found their way to me. So luckily, when I started into facility management in the second telecom, I didn't want to stop. I finished the opening of Do. I said, no, that's not the end. I don't want to stay in Do like what I did in Etisalat. Let me move. So I got offer from a private company in Jabal Ali. We set up the company for 2 years. It wasn't an easy job. And this is where I said, next, what is next? I'm not going to stay. If I did my job in this organization, I'm going to move. So I was lucky before joining Do, I was given the offer to be in charge of the tallest tower in the world, Burj Khalifa, during the opening. I was always driving in Dubai, watching this tower being built. I said, oh my God, this is the real facility management role that I need. I need to take over the responsibility of this tower. So they called me in 2008 and they said, we want you to be in charge of the whole operation of the tower, taking over from the biggest contractor consortiums and consultant and making the Burj ready for the opening and of course, operating the tower. So I was very excited about it and they recognized my personality, my technical knowledge, and my facility management strategic thinking. Even they had a lot of people to choose from globally. A lot of people wanted this role, not because of the salary, because of that very high profile in your CV. I was more of a passionate guy with a strong track record in telecom and into facility management. So I was very happy and I thought this is my God reward after working almost like 11, 12 years and not getting really promoted. Okay, moving through 3 companies. When I did Burj Khalifa, I was very proud and I was more proud when they had my picture being posted until today in the tallest tower in the world. And I know the tower by heart. I know a lot of information about the tower that a lot of people did not know or they don't know yet because I was almost sleeping in the tower. So the first 10 years of my career, you will not believe, I was averaging at least 12 to 14 hours a day at work. Being Etisalat or Do or Emdad when I joined Emdad for 2 years in Jabal Ali or even at Burj Khalifa. Why? Because the passion is inside me. So it created motivation and my motivation, self-motivation, drive people around me to be motivated. And this is how we achieve as group rather than as an individual. I'm not a guy who will try to personally achieve. I'm trying to make everybody achieve at the same time. And this is what I'm doing now through my non-profit association role as a vice chairman of Global FM. We're trying to bring people together and of course, help young guys to grow into their careers. And of course, after Burj Khalifa, I had a few other roles. So I'm not a typical UAE local that will stay with one job until I get retired. So not to lose my retirement fund. I changed my job almost 9 times during my career, 22 years of career. And during that as well, from 2011 to 2016, I had a few consultancy roles with government of Saudi Arabia and Kuwait and Oman, being recognized as a leader into this industry, facility and asset management. I took partial roles in my free time to be a consultant for flagship projects across GCC. In addition to moving around the different countries in Europe and Asia and US, talking about the success we have in the region, about building super tall building, about facility management, about sustainability. And of course, finally, I landed in Global Village 4 years ago. Again, the true thing is how do you get yourself motivated? Because a lot of people around you might push the negative energy. How can you keep always positive energy into your thinking? And how do you have self-confidence even after making mistakes? And you know, it's all about, I'm sure it's all about learning from others, respecting people at different levels, keep smiling every day, because that is where the positive energy will come. And of course, it's more about logical thinking, and that is very important. I'm sorry, I'm making it very long.
No, I'm listening to you, and I'm thinking these are great tips, and I love how you're telling it through stories of your career. Now, I know that you're a believer of young people being good to everyone and learning from people around you. It's very clear in the stories that you share that you are a people person, that you enjoy that working with people, which is something that you also said. You believe that trying to help others when possible and believing in oneself and being passionate. How does a young person who thinks that the next step is a very competitive step, how do they understand the sweet spot between helping someone when it's possible and not being scared of competition?
See, again, scared of competition. I feel people should not feel that others are competing with them. I've never seen this in my career. Maybe I was lucky. For example, when I was studying in college in US, because I've done my electrical engineering in US, after finishing studying, I go around, I try to teach others, or at least if somebody is not prepared for the exam, I take them over what I learned or what I studied. And he maybe might get a C, but by doing this, I'm going to get an A, because I re-explain what I learned and what I think about the what I studied to others. So, and this is how I became a best friend with my friend. We are friends for the last 30 years, because during our study career, I was the guy who he comes to in the last moment, and I explain to him, and he passed. He get a B, I get a A. He get a C, I get a B, and we're still friends. So I didn't think that, oh, he might compete with me. I've never thought about it. You know, helping people is sometimes, gives you a joy, but at the same time teach you. It really gives you skills. It teaches you. I agree. Sometimes you have to focus in developing yourself, but isolating yourself will never develop yourself. You have to be with the group. So I love to study with the group, but after being ready, not being ready and losing time. Yeah, I want to focus, finish my study early, and then I join study group. So this is what I did in my master. Again, I did that in my bachelor degree, and I did that in my master. It's always good to help people around you, but the trick is not to wait for them. So a lot of people say, I helped him, but he never come back and help me. I help and I move. If he wants to be around me, I'm happy, and I will help him if I can. And the giving skill is not easy to learn, but once you give, you enjoy. You enjoy it. If you enjoy it, you're going to continue giving, and God will reward you. Other people will reward you somehow. I get a lot of calls after several years. Say, Ali, thank you very much. I just got a call 1 month ago from a guy that I helped him in 2007. I, I didn't know that he will still remember. He said, Ali, you helped me. I said, how? I don't remember. He said, you took my CV, you didn't know me, and you sent it to your ex-boss in Etisalat and do, and he hired me. I'm still working with him. And I didn't know who helped me, but I knew your name, Ali Al Suwaidi. You took my CV and gave it to him. I said, listen, I wanted to help anybody. So I got your CV and just forwarded it. I didn't do anything. This is from God. And we are reasons for others to get, support and assistance. We don't need to pay me back, or I'm not waiting for you to pay me back. But of course, making more friends and helping these friends will pay back at you somehow. So again, being kind to people is not weakness. People think it's weakness, and that's the problem.
Brilliant.
So, yeah,
Now,
go
young national students here in the UAE are
Yeah.
looking to their future and
Yeah.
really trying to understand careers for their future. The UAE is growing and evolving so quickly. There's changes happening all the time. I think it's an exciting place for young Emirati students. What are some of your tips for a young student thinking, how am I going to find my way? It just looks very competitive out there.
I agree. It looks competitive, but ultimately, what I'm advising people is finish your school, take advantage of being in the university by learning skills. Skills now are not easily to learn by passing an exam. You need to create a community, learn from your teacher. When I was young, I always sit with old people, sometimes non-educated old people. And why? I enjoy listening to them, and they give you good advices. So it's always about how do you create your network. Finding people like me, definitely I'm gonna guide somebody, young man who reach me, and I'm gonna try to guide him. But ultimately, it's up to him to reach me or reach other people. So ultimately, you need to know what you want to do. You need to ask people. Finding a job is not easy. I know a friend. He's not a friend, of course. I know him through alumni, AUS, American University alumni. He's a young graduate. He graduated as a mechanical engineer, but he's not working in engineering. He's working in noon as in charge of product development. So he bring in new product into the e-commerce platform. He set up the price. So again, today it's more competitive. You need to create your skills. You need to start somewhere. Don't wait for the perfect job to come to you. You know what I mean? And of course, always you have to say, what is the industry I'm part of? What I want to be? I want to be part of an industry like e-commerce? And who are the employers there? It's Amazon, it's Noon, maybe it's limited. So it's up to you to develop your skills. For example, if you are in marketing, it's not marketing only. Are you in marketing into entertainment, or are you in marketing into retail, or are you in marketing for hospitality industry? Change your goals. So ultimately, create a network, learn more every day. And this is why I say human capacity has no limit. If you can run 5 kilometers today, you can run 15 kilometers in 1 month by training yourself. And this is what happens also to your mind. If you create a mind that is more educated, unfortunately, today people cannot manage their time. It's not easy to manage the time comparing to our days in the 1990s. We didn't have internet, and internet started in 1994, 95. Today, you have a lot of things that will distract you. Use the internet as a source of learning, not as a source of, distraction. Be effective in managing time and learning and connecting to people. And I think internet, like LinkedIn, can be a great source for you to reach people. It's easier to reach people.
Definitely.
At the old time, it wasn't easy. So look at the advantages of today and avoid the disturbance of information overflow or these social, everybody want to be a blogger now, right? We used to be, everybody wanted to be a football player before. Now everybody wanted to be a blogger, but blogger without a personality, blogger without a content will never be sustainable. So again, create the content that you can promote. You can promote you as a person and be passionate about it. This is what I need to say. To be competitive, I think the interpersonal skills are important. Being passionate about what you say, believing in what you say, giving positive energy are still keys to anybody's success. They were a key and they're still going to be a key.
I can't agree with you anymore. Tell us about your little project. I know that you're working on a project you're writing a book. Tell us all about that.
So writing a book is, again, it's a reflection of what I've been doing over the last 20 years, talking about our role in the community, trying to develop more sustainable communities. So I'm trying to put a book forward for people, and especially mega projects and giga projects and cities, something like Dubai City, Abu Dhabi, or a country that will benefit more from buildings being connected. Now humans are connected and we can communicate. If we have a problem, we can reach our doctor. If we can see each other without physically, meeting. So many things. Technology is helping us, but technology is still not helping the cleaner. It's not helping the technician. It's not helping us to track why our buildings are not really green. We talk about green buildings from a design aspect, but we never talk about a green building from operation aspect. Where is our waste? How much we are generating waste? All these are a sustainable city and economy aspect. And this is what I'm putting forward in my book. I'm going to talk about the secret for Giga project to be successful over the life of this project. Not just controlling the cost of design and construction, but also the cost of operation. So just put in I'll give you a simple example. King Noura University, it's a big university for girls in Riyadh. It's the capacity today is 40,000 students, and ultimately the capacity will be 120,000 students. So this project was built for 40 billion riyal, almost 10-12 billion. Do you think how much it's going to cost to operate and maintain this project? It's going to be another 80 billion riyal, 20 or 30 billion dollar over 25 years. And imagine the country is trying to pay for the university, because university is almost free for everybody who wants to study, and so the government cannot sustain all these huge running budgets. We need to talk about the keys to making these projects sustainable. We need to make them healthy projects rather than project that will take your financial, will affect your environment, will affect people happiness in these buildings. So there are three parameters: environmentally, economically, and socially. Who is using this facility have to be comfortable, has to be safe, and we make sure he's happy. So this is more about my book.
Love it.
Impactful facility management. Yeah,
fantastic. No, it's great. It's really great. And anyone thinking about going into work like this, I like how you broke it down into three parts and including people's happiness. I think sometimes students who think about going into construction or engineering forget about the reality of actually we're not just building something, we're actually trying to make it a place where the people who will be in this physical space will be happy. So I think that's a really interesting take on what you're talking about in terms of not just financial sustainability, but also in well-being and sustainability of people as well. Ali, right before we say goodbye, where do you see yourself in the next decade?
Well, I see myself very happy surrounded by my family, and of course people who are would like to be closer to me, and I'm really happy for that. And I think trying to give more to the society, and that is my aim again, to continue doing that. And I always say becoming a CEO is not a goal, it's how do you contribute to the success of the country, people around you. I'm very proud of my children who are growing. My daughter is doing a master's degree, my son is doing an engineering degree as well. So I'm happy that I need to enjoy life. I need to have a balance in life between work and family, and I need to be proud of what I'm doing and what I'm trying to do with the people with me. So again, things are not easy, but if you look at it in a positive way, it is very exciting and very challenging, and this is what we are waking up for every day.
Yeah, I love it. I love ending this conversation just this way. And that brings us to the end of an incredible conversation. Today we were speaking with Ali Al-Suwaidi, who is the COO of Global Village, and he talked to us about his career journey from when he was a young teenager to where he is right now. We will see you all at the next Let's Talk with Miss B. Thank you for watching.